Alrighty, here we go. This is session 41 of Masks of Nyarlathotep. And you guys are deep in the heart of Africa, deep in Kenya, just outside Nairobi. You guys are on your way to the Mountain of the Black Wind to find out whatever it is the Cult of the Bloody Tongue is up to and hopefully put a stop to it. And then perhaps convince some folks to help you seal the portal away. But en route, you guys have stopped off at the game lodge that belongs to an old acquaintance of Miles, a gentleman named Colonel Endicott, whose hunting lodge has fallen on hard times over the last few years. People believe that the area is cursed, and he had previously invited you to take a look around and see if you could perhaps help him to deal with that. You've also met an old wise man named Bandari, who provided you with some information, generally along the lines of like, things are very bad. The mountain is evil. There's a god that resides there, and things of that nature. He did let you know that, from what he is aware, the reason he did not send Jackson Elias to the mountain is because Jackson's fate was sealed. But your fates are still open. So he was more inclined to point you in the direction, and his grandson slash assistant even provided you with a map to the mountain. So you should be able to find the mountain relatively easily, although it is about a week's trek through the jungle. Thankfully, Miles has laid in all the necessary supplies and everything, since this is the sort of thing he's accustomed to. Bandari also gave you a couple of things that he said would help you. One of them is a tribal fly swatter, a fly stick, that he says will both help you perceive and protect you from evil. The other thing he gave you was a strange-looking reptile in a little box, in a little cage, named She Who Is Not What She Seems. And he told you that when things are dire, open up the cage. The lizard inside does not look remotely like anything that any of you are experienced with. It's got like its front legs kind of like bisect at one of the joints, so that each of its front legs actually has like two legs. So it has 4 legs but 6 feet, and its mouth is a vertical slit as opposed to a horizontal mouth. And I believe Miles is currently taking care of her. At Endicott's lodge, where you guys have ended up on your way to further inland, everything was relatively pleasant, relatively normal, until you went out to start exploring around. He had mentioned that the various deaths and stuff that have been attributed to this curse happened around his viewing platform. And when you guys went out to investigate, following supper, when he was pushed a little bit too far, he seemed to become almost very evasive in a way, but obviously evasive.
Do not blame us. He's the bad guy. We did not push him. He's already broken.
He was already broken. But he started muttering something about how he just needs one more. Probably referencing the botched resurrection ritual that was supposed to bring back his wife and child. But as he kind of snapped and started muttering under his breath, the winds around the viewing platform picked up, and these vaguely humanoid shapes made out of the dirt and the sand and bones and sticks started to form out of the ground. I think that's where we left off.
Yep.
Just for the record, because the record is important, we all drew our weapons before this happened.
Yes, you did. And when things started looking a little bit squirrely, everybody was like, "Oh shit!"
When Endicott made that speech about needing one more to bring them back, did his voice change in any way? Like it went to like a robotic, or did it just sound normal? He just made an offhand comment.
It sounded more, not necessarily robotic, but more tinged with mania. Like trying very hard to kind of keep the mania under control.
I think the question is it mind control or is it insanity?
You guys made some really good psychology rolls, so it is definitely an insanity thing.
It doesn't make it better.
It does not make it better. But as these creatures start to form up out of the ground, I don't think, did Evelyn draw her gun as well?
I didn't note that she had,
Okay.
but she can.
Well, we pretty
I
much
don't remember. I don't have
Honestly,
anything written that she had.
we stopped session literally after he made that comment and Chris described the shapes
Yes.
rising out of the ground.
Yeah. Yep. I think everybody had drawn their weapons previously when he started looking a little bit squirrely. But with that, we're going to kick things off with a combat, which is something that we rarely do.
Oh no.
And so, just as a refresher, the way combat works is you go in order of dexterity. Having a weapon ready gives you a plus 50 to your dexterity for initiative purposes, because it's easier to pull a trigger than it is to move and punch somebody. But with that, that'll mean that Gary is up first. Because unfortunately, Gary is not here.
Does that apply to like stick and rock things as well? They are slow.
Yes, if it's not a gun, you don't get the bonus. But I will assume that Gary is going to shoot at a creature. Oof. Gary is actually going to hit a creature. So Gary fires off a shot relative quick on the draw, and one of the creatures. The bullet passes mostly through the creature. Like you can see, kind of like like the hydrostatic shock kind of send ripples through the sand and dirt and debris that makes up the creature. The wound closes over to some extent. It had an effect, just not as much as it would have on a normal person. And then seeing that, back the hell up. That will take us to Miles.
Well, if I've got that elephant gun I wanted, I'm going to go and shoot with the elephant gun and see if a bigger gun can.
Gotcha. All right. For the combat, if you just like mouse over the one that you want to hit and hit the T button, it'll target it, and then that way everything will mostly automate.
Sorry. Hover over it and what?
Hit the T button on your keyboard, and then that way it'll be that's the one I'm targeting.
Okay, I think I did it because I see it's highlighted or it's boxed.
Yep.
To confirm, we're all targeting the one on the left, right? Revenant 2?
That's the one that Gary shot, and that seems to be the one that Miles is taking a beat on.
Sorry, so what do I do now?
On your character sheet, if you go to your combat tab
Yeah, now I click the gun.
and then click elephant gun. Perfect. So it is within the base range for the weapon.
Oh, it did work. I got this little yellow banner error message about measurement or something. So, okay, it worked.
And then in the Foundry chat, you see roll firearms. Click that, and you should be good to go.
Oh, I thought I already rolled.
Ooh, an extreme success. So then if you click the roll damage, it'll roll your damage. So yeah, so now you'll see why extreme successes with guns are bad, because that did 40 points of damage. You may note that most of you have between 10 and 14 hit points.
I was about to say 40.
Yep.
Not 1-4.
Yep. Because
God.
an extreme success with a firearm does maximum damage
It is an elephant gun.
plus a roll of the dice. So the elephant gun is 3d6 plus 4, so it does 22 plus 3d6. So yeah, Miles, your elephant gun seems to make short work of that thing. It just blasts like bone shards and debris and everything all over the place. And as the kind of swirling debris settles back into the ground, you can see like the stuff that formed this creature. It's like slightly off colored from the surrounding dirt. But it doesn't seem to be moving or reforming or pulling itself back together or anything.
Good. I was going to ask that. Thank you.
Yep. And you can still move if you want. You can move up to basically up to 3 squares on the map.
You said there were 3 or 4 that we could see.
There are 4 you can see. This little center thing here, this is actually an elevated platform on stilts, and there is a ladder that goes up to it, so you can see under it.
Yeah,
There
I
are
can
2
see.
on
Yeah,
the side.
I didn't move the map up enough to see the one on the bottom left.
Yep.
Okay. So sorry, this is an open platform?
It's the viewing hut, so there's like a little hut on top of it. I just couldn't do it on the map program that I use.
Can I rush into there so that I could shoot from elevation and have the high ground?
You can climb up the ladder for sure.
Okay, I'll do that.
Where is the ladder?
Say the ladder's right there.
Love it.
It's over, Endicott. I have the high ground.
That turns out poorly, doesn't it, for someone?
Not for the guy on the high ground.
Right. That will take us to Alvin.
I think it's telling me I'm out of ammo. Hold on. That can't be right.
There we go.
Let me try that again.
Look at you guys and your
Holy
dice
jeez.
rolls.
Wait, I think I made a mistake. I added a bonus die, or it was still set to a bonus die.
Yeah, you get a bonus die because of the range.
Oh, well then. Thank you, bonus die.
Not quite as effective as the elephant gun. Still blows a chunk out of this creature, though. If that was a human, they undoubtedly would have been badly hurt, if not killed outright. But this creature is still standing.
I shoot it in the face. It still has a face. I'm very confused.
It doesn't actually have much of a face. It's very much like a kind of a blank slate sort of thing. That will take us to Eugene.
Well, I'm not a big fan of the fact that they do not seem to die, so I'm gonna try to output that. We've been shooting at the same one.
Miles blew one away, and then Alvin injured another one. The two that are closest to you, Miles eliminated one, and Alvin wounded the other one.
Okay, I'm gonna try to follow up the one that Alvin started with my own elephant gun. I can't target right now, but I think I can. I might be able to shoot.
Okay.
You want me to? Do you want to roll for me, or do you want me to proceed without a target?
I'll get it because that way I can target it.
Good.
Right. That is enough to eliminate that one. These elephant guns are certainly worth picking up for sure.
Oh yeah, elephant gun are the answer to monster from beyond reality, apparently.
So these creatures again, like they just kind of like fall apart into back into the debris from which they were formed. That'll take us to the Revenant, who are fast but not gun fast.
Chris, just a quick question, just
Yes.
because I forgot to ask on my turn. What's Endicott doing?
Endicott is standing vaguely transfixed and then starting to take a couple of steps towards them.
Okay. Is he on the map? I just don't see him. That's why I was
He's not. I don't have a token for him. He's not important enough to have a token.
Ouch.
my first fear was that Endicott had dissolved and was turning into those four things. So thank you for specifying that he's just not there on the map.
Yeah. One of them is going to basically head straight for Eugene and Evelyn, basically running underneath the platform. Can't quite get there. So the basically Endicott is kind of walking towards them. You can't quite make out what he's saying because everybody's ears are still ringing from like the elephant gun shots that have gone off. But he's walking towards them. He doesn't look like he's transfixed or charmed or anything of that nature. And he's like walking towards them kind of slowly. And the two remaining ones are moving as quickly as they can towards those of you still on the ground. And that will take us to Evelyn.
Yikes. So number 3 is under the platform now.
It is.
I am. Can I move and shoot?
You can.
I would just like to have a slightly better angle so I don't feel like I'm gonna shoot Miles in the arm.
Well, Miles is like about 15 feet above you.
Oh, that's true too. Alvin isn't though.
Yes, he is.
Is he? Are they? They're both up there.
Yep.
Well, shit. I am feeling very exposed. Yeah, I can't cast Fireball, sadly. I will, though, try to shoot number 3 with my rifle, since I'm better at that. So what is it? I click on the...
Yeah, like mouse over your target and hit T.
Okay. And then just hit my firearms on the combat tab.
Your gun on the combat tab.
The rifle.
Yep.
Okay, regular.
Yep.
No.
No, that is a miss. Goes wide.
Evelyn is not the combat monkey that Desi is.
We still
Gary.
have those. We still have those magic knives, right? We just don't know that they're magic.
Eugene told you that they are magical. You just don't know what effect they'll actually have. Oh, Gary. What's Gary going to do? Gary, seeing everybody climbing up, is also going to scamper up the ladder. Foregoing actually. And that will take us 2 miles again.
I will shoot again unless I need to spend time reloading.
No, elephant guns hold 2 shots.
Okay, do I have to target again? Because it looks like it's still highlighted.
Yep. So just target the other one that you would like to hit.
All right, because mine's gone now. So the. I'm sorry. Is one of them now on the platform with us?
No, he is underneath the platform.
Okay. Well, since I don't know if he's there, I will shoot the one. Is that one to the left actually there that's highlighted, or is that the one I destroyed?
This one is still there. He's making his way under, but he hasn't gotten under the platform yet.
Okay, I will shoot that one then.
Okay.
I think you're shooting the one under and not the one not under.
Yeah, that's okay. I can apply the damage to the right one anyway.
I thought I rolled for it,
52
didn't I?
regular damage? Is that what that says?
Sorry?
Oh, no, it says
No.
success. I thought it was 52 regular damage. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can just click the roll damage button there.
So I did hit. I wasn't 100% sure.
Yep. Not as spectacular a shot, but
Better than I did.
that's true.
It's almost like one of us is a big game hunter and the other one isn't.
That will take us to Elvin.
How does delaying your shot or your action work in Call of Cthulhu? My goal here is to make sure that Evelyn and Eugene get up, and then I'm basically pointing my gun down the stairs and shooting at whatever comes up, because it basically creates like this funnel.
Gotcha. Yeah, basically you can go on 115 or any time thereafter.
But I can't interrupt their movement if they're coming up. I can't shoot them in the head as they're coming up.
Correct.
I'm trying to think of what the right play is here. Because Alvin is definitely going to be looking down these stairs and protecting these stairs to make sure that Evelyn and Eugene come up. So I'm pointing my gun down there. Hopefully, whatever the rules say, I will be able to shoot at the right time, but that's my goal. I'm pointing my gun down and trying to extend my hand to help Evelyn and Eugene come up.
All right, perfect.
And obviously yelling, get up, get up, get up.
Gotcha. Right. That will take us to Eugene.
I will attempt to make my way up there. Where is Evelyn right now? I don't want to leave her like alone with the tape.
Evelyn is still down on the ground.
I'm at the northwest corner of the platform, but on the ground.
However,
The
she has all
first,
her leg now. Remember, she's not.
Yep.
I do! Yes, it doesn't make me any faster, but I'm not lame now.
I thought you were extra slow before.
I was, but I mean, compared to everyone else. But I mean, my stats didn't change just because my leg was healed.
Since initiative works the way it works, I'm gonna make my way up.
Okay.
Oh. I would have clothes, but it's a bit wonky.
Okay. So that revenant is going to move closer, and it basically closes the Endicott who's been walking forward. And as he's like, "My love, soon we'll be together, soon," and then it reaches out and like rakes claws across him.
Well, that's the opposite of good.
For 5. So Evelyn, you watch as he's like basically blissed out. He seems to think that this thing is his wife. And as he walks forward, it just like starts to like peel his skin off of him. It's as the claws dig into his flesh. It's almost like he's being flensed by the sand and debris as opposed to being raked with claws.
Okay.
Either he doesn't feel it or he doesn't care. And the other one is going to join in on that too. So the two of them kind of fall upon Endicott, and as they kind of move past him, Evelyn, you just see nothing but like skin and not even skin, like the bones and the muscle tissue and stuff like that. They basically flayed him. You can make a sanity roll.
Great. That's what I want with a gun in my hand. Oh dear. That's not good.
Okay. All right.
Well, I was briefly sane.
Oh, you only lose 1 point.
Oh, wow.
You're somewhat inured to all this. But you are up.
Sorry, my mic died. What? Why is she rolling for insanity?
Because the
Endicott just got ripped apart in front of me.
he didn't get ripped apart. He got flayed.
Oh yeah, it's such a big difference.
So he got sandblasted apart in front of me.
He did.
Yeah. That's still mighty gross.
But you're up now, Evelyn.
Amazingly, Evelyn does not run off screaming. Or maybe not amazingly. I mean, she's seen some pretty grisly things at this point. I will, though, try to get up onto the platform with everyone else, because being down here seems like a really bad idea.
Okay.
You mean alone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Being down here alone, since all of the gentlemen with me are up on top of the platform where it's semi-safe.
I have my arm extended for you to help you up.
Thanks.
All right. Perfect. So Evelyn kind of clampering up the ladder. All of you are now up on, and there's a little like hut on top of here that I didn't draw onto the map. There is like a spare elephant gun. There's a case of whiskey. There's food. It's very nicely appointed. If it wasn't for the creatures capable of flaying people alive underneath you.
Yeah, since they weren't in a position where they could see what happened, that's basically what Evelyn will be repeating as she clambers up onto this platform.
Okay.
They tore him apart. They tore him apart.
That will bring us to 2 miles.
So now do I have to spend a round reloading?
It takes you 1 action to put 1 round into it.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
If he foregoes his movement, can he put 2 rounds into it?
Nope. So on your combat tab there, Mark, by the elephant gun, you'll see a little thing looks like the cylinders of a revolver.
Sorry, in the combat tab?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So if you click that, it'll increment your ammo.
Okay.
And just in case it comes up, you can because you only get 1 action a turn. You can, if you really need to, slam 1 round in and fire, but you're at a penalty die to do so.
Okay, so for this round, all I can do is reload that 1 shot.
Yep. Alvin.
And move.
Yes, you can move and do a thing.
Well, if I'm on the platform already, I'm happy unless there's a more advantageous spot on the platform.
It doesn't seem to be like they're right underneath the platform, so there's no real way to get vantage point without going back down.
Is
Chris,
this a
just to-
completely
Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead.
is this a completely open as we can see it, or is there anything to brace ourselves? Because I'm kind of expecting them to come up somehow, whether it's break it, slip through slits in the if there's slits. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah. So it's a solid floor. There is like a little a banister around it, like a small wall all the way around it, and then there is like a hut itself, which is like 3 rooms. So there are banisters and stuff to prevent you from like falling over the edge and all of that sort of things.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that and try to have something to my back so nothing comes up from directly behind me.
There we go. We'll draw on like a little wall. All right, Alvin.
You mentioned the existence of a loaded elephant gun up here.
There is an elephant gun up here.
Is it loaded?
It is not.
Shit.
There is a box of shells.
Yeah, but I'm covering the way up. Although I think I have the smallest gun, don't I? Am I the one with the smallest gun? Like I have a 38 revolver.
So does Gary.
All right, then I'm staring down that stairwell or ladder. And what I want is if someone enters his movement at the bottom of the ladder or even moves into the bottom of the ladder, I want to unload on them. Although I don't know if the rules allow me to do so.
Gotcha. Okay. That will take us to Eugene.
So Endicott is still down.
Endicott has been removed of his skin.
According
Yeah,
to Evelyn,
I
he's
heard him
apart.
being sandblasted, but I didn't know if he survived being sandblasted. I assume that someone without skin is having a worse day.
He's currently being alleviated of his skin.
Yep.
And life.
And is Evelyn in safety?
Yes, everybody is up on the platform.
Okay.
I'm as safe as you guys are.
I mean, yeah, safety is relative, but I get your point.
A little bit.
And the third creature is not. We don't have an angle to shoot it.
And no, the 2 remaining creatures are underneath the platform you guys are standing on.
I'm gonna take that time to reload.
Okay.
I know I'm not fully expended, but I'll take my time to reload.
Okay.
That's gonna be that for me.
All right. There are some creaking and groaning sounds from underneath you. That will take us to Evelyn.
Chris, does it sound like they're gnawing on the support poles?
When your turn comes around, you can make a listen roll. Evelyn.
Yeah. I will make a listen roll
All right.
as I try to get to the middle of the platform.
Okay.
Into the little hut thing that's up here.
Okay.
Oh.
Evelyn, that very much sounds like the sound of wood being put under stress.
I think they're trying to break the supports. Are they breaking the supports? Can anyone see them?
That will take us
That's it.
to Gary. Gary's going to move in to protect Evelyn.
Ah, gentlemen.
That will take us 2 miles.
So can I see any right now?
You cannot.
Randomly shooting at the floor would just exasperate the situation, I'm sure. Can I hold my action as a possible reaction to do what something they do?
Yes.
Then I shall do that.
Okay. Alvin.
Chris, when I was crawling up the stairs, how thick is the floor?
It's probably about 2 inches thick. 2 inches of solid wood.
So if I say go over to this side and I lean over the edge and look down, I'll be able to see them?
You can certainly try.
Like if I put myself on my stomach and lean down.
Yes. So you kind of like scoot over to the edge, kind of lean, and you do have to lean out like a fair ways because you need to angle your body to see underneath. So you're probably about mid torso up is hanging over the edge. Like you're not in danger of falling off, but there's possibly more than you would like.
Yeah, it's not the safest thing I've ever done. I get it.
Yeah. And yes, you can see one of these creatures is basically just like it's grabbed a hold of the of one of the supports, one of the stilts, and is basically trying to remove it.
How big? I know that there's not many actions that I'm doing here. I'm just observing here, but how big is this beam? Are we talking about like 2x4s that are holding this up, or is it like a tree trunk? Like, is there?
It's like a good sized pillar, probably about like a 8x8, maybe a little bit bigger. Like it's a good sturdy stilt.
Is he winning?
It'll take him some time.
I haven't done an action yet. I'm just looking. My question is, how stupid, considering I am halfway leaning out of this house, would be to try to put my arms over my head. Now I'm completely upside down and trying to shoot with the recoil and everything. Like, I just on a scale of 1 to 10 of stupidest things that Alvin has done. Is this like a 9? It sounds like a 9.
It's probably like a solid 8. I mean, I'm gonna leave some leeway so you can do stupider things later.
Which one of the stills is he on?
It's not quite lighting dynamite while it's still in your hand.
That's true. There is a certain benchmark.
Fair. Fair. Which one? Is it the one nearest me, furthest from me, across from me, or to the left? It's the one that I'm at
Yep.
that he's leaning on? If only I had brought some grenades today. I share the information with everyone, but I'm not stupid enough to shoot yet. But it's also not splintering, it's just groaning, right?
Yep. And you do actually, since you're hanging over, you do see another one about here doing the same thing to the opposite corner.
Well, I share that with both of my friends.
Okay. That will take us to Eugene.
Eugene's gonna look for I'm looking for a loose plank in the floorboard, so I can take one tile off, so I have an angle to shoot them downside.
You can make a luck roll.
Luck it is.
Oh, what do you know? You do find one.
Huh. Eugene will start prying it apart. Try to get an angle on them downstairs.
Strength. Okay. So you spend the round basically looking around. Revenants continue to do what they're doing. Evelyn. And you guys see Eugene is basically has found this plank and is wiggling it back and forth to try to pry it up.
Okay. I can't tell where the other ones are anymore.
No, you can't.
Shit.
Can't see through wood.
Nope.
I did say where they are, though. So you have a vague idea of where they are, you just can't see them.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm going to. Oh. Grand. Okay. Eugene's prying up a slat. I'm going to come over to this side.
Okay.
So that once Eugene has that plank pried up, hopefully I'll be able to see it and aim for it.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's probably not what's going to happen, but yeah, it's a thought.
Gary. Gary probably makes some sort of quip about his bar mitzvah.
More than likely,
yeah. That will take us 2 miles.
So do I have an obvious target yet, or no?
No. Eugene is trying to pry up one of the boards so that he can maybe see something, and you just see Alvin laying on his stomach over the edge. He's kind of vaguely pointed out there's one in the northwest corner, one in the southeast corner.
I will make my way towards the southeast corner then.
Okay. So somewhere down in this vicinity.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Right. Alvin.
They haven't moved or anything. They're still leaning on these things.
Yeah, they're putting all of their effort into trying to take down these pillars.
Are they making headway?
They are.
Okay, I'm going to go over. Is it Eugene who has the plank?
Eugene is in the process of ripping up a plank.
I double down. First of all, I take a quick look around the area. Is there any tools like a hammer or anything like that lying around?
Not unless you want to use like a pistol as a hammer.
A shovel?
Nope, there are no shovels here either.
Damn it. Okay, so I slide over to where Eugene is, and I give him a hand, and I try to pry with him double strong.
Okay, perfect.
Do we roll strength or anything?
Basically, your strengths are added together, which will affect what Eugene needs to roll since he's the active participant.
Active away, Eugene.
Actually, yeah, he is stronger than you, so he's the one that makes the roll. So yes, Eugene, you can make a strength roll.
I'll do that.
With
Does
Alvin's,
he get a bonus dice?
he doesn't get a bonus dice. It changes the difficulty from hard to normal. Oof. You could spend 11 luck, or you could push the roll.
What would be the consequences of pushing? Do I know it before, or do I need to state them?
If you fail the pushed roll to like haul up this board, you'll basically, when you go to grab the milk carton and it's empty and you're expecting it to be full and you put more force into it than you need.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and you are quite close to the edge.
Okay, I'm gonna push.
Okay. Right. So with Alvin's help, you kind of like put your back into it and you pull up this plank. I mean, it was loose, but it's still a plank nailed to other planks. And you and you strain and you stretch, you pull, and it does pull up. So there is now basically there is not a super big hole, but a hole roughly where Eugene is standing. Say right about there. The revenants are going to do what they're going to do. The creaking is getting louder. That'll take us to Evelyn.
Can I see the one in the northwest corner?
You can make a spot hidden with a penalty die.
Oof. Okay, I can't shoot it if I don't see it, so I'll give it a shot. So it's bonus dice is the slider that I moved to -1?
Yep.
Okay. Nope.
No sign of it. Unless you want to spend.
I can't see it.
Unless you want to spend 31 luck.
No. She will, though, say that she can't see it.
That will take us to Gary. Gary's rummaging around. Gary's basically like loading up the weapons that are in the hut. That sounds like a Gary thing. Miles.
Can I see a target right now?
Not from where you are. If you move over by Evelyn, you might be able to see one. It depends on how you do your spot hidden roll.
Could I do what Alvin did and kind of like bend over and look to see underneath?
Absolutely. So yeah,
I will do that.
Yeah, so you kind of get down on your stomach and then like lean out carefully. And I mean, you guys are probably about 20 feet off the ground, so it's not like the creature's going to be able to reach up and grab you or anything. They're human sized. So you can lean out, and you peer, and almost directly underneath you is the creature that is basically doing its best to knock over or destroy this support beam.
Can I take a shot?
You can certainly try. It'll be hard because you're hanging upside down. So you have two options. You can take the shot now. You'll be at a penalty die. Or you can use your action to aim, and as long as you don't move or take damage before your next turn, You get a bonus die, and those will cancel out.
I'll be cautious and I'll wait. I'll wait.
Okay. That will take us to Alvin.
Trusty spot hidden.
So, right. So yeah, from your somewhat closer vantage point, you can see the creature.
I cannot target it though because it is hidden from my view.
There we go. We'll add them both back onto the map, but just remember they are underneath you. All right, just give me 1 sec here. Shot rings out, striking the creature. It doesn't seem to react. It seems very focused on what it's trying to do here. But you definitely hit it, and little bits of debris fall off of it. Important note: since you made your spot hidden, this one had previously taken damage, and it doesn't seem like any of that damage has been repaired or anything. It's not regenerating.
Thank you for that. That's important.
Yep. That'll take us to Eugene.
I assume if Alvin's shot by the hole, that the spot is taken.
Yes.
I'm gonna gesture to hand over my elephant gun to Alvin and switch his gun so I can reload the one he had.
Okay.
He can't take a shot himself.
It's not like a real big hole. He just basically pulled up a plank. So, I mean, he can. There'll be a penalty die because you're there, and if he fumbles, he'll hit you.
He'll elephant shot me. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not that he can't take a shot.
It's that he should.
Yes, that it might not be the best plan.
Yeah. Because that tends to be when fumbles come up. The revenants continue to work on the pole. It looks like, and you guys can feel it now. Like there's a Miles can especially feel it because you're laying on your stomach, so you're a little bit more notice it a little bit more. But there's a little bit of a sway to the stand now. Evelyn.
Well,
In a
shit.
perfect world, they snap them off at the same time. The entire thing crushes them.
I don't
You
think we're
mean
in that movie.
the trick of the elevator?
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, this is Call of Cthulhu, so.
If it was Feng Shui, it could work.
That's right.
Well, I can't see either of them. And Alvin is kind of down through the hole where the plank was. Yeah, Evelyn's just going to come back to where she thinks it's probably a little safer. And just, I can't see them. Where are they? Can you get them? Can you shoot them?
Gary is reloading guns. Miles, the creature, it's still where it was. You have successfully aimed, so you can shoot at it. Penalty die for doing this crazy ass stunt upside down, but a bonus die because you aimed, so they cancel it.
So do I target the guy that's behind me?
Yep.
The range should be really good for that, though, so. You're basically pointing down into his face.
Yep. Range of 0 yards. So yeah, you fire off this blast. You hit the creature solidly, not enough to destroy, but it takes like a big chunk out of it. You figure one more shot like that will probably discorporate it. That will take us to Alvin.
Chris, you haven't been specific, but you didn't mention a body down there.
Oh, you mean like Endicott's body?
Yeah.
Yes, it is down there. It's like a skinless corpse laying there.
Okay, they didn't eat him or anything like that.
They haven't had time. I
That
mean,
would not
I mean,
reassure
no.
Oh no.
I look at the elephant gun. I look at Eugene. I toss it back to him. I'm like, I don't know how to use this. I take a step back.
Okay.
Is there any? I'm gonna take a look at this area. Is there anything I can do, as stupid as this sounds, to find? Because if I remember correctly, this place is well appointed with alcohol or stuff like that.
Oh yes, there's an
And
entire case of Glenlivet's.
I'm gonna run over to that, and my action is gonna be I'm gonna try to prepare something that later in the next round I might be able to drop on them and light on fire. I know it's a
Okay.
terrible situation because all this is wood. It just I don't have many options right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, you can very easily. I mean, there's cots and bedding and stuff like that, so you can cobble together a makeshift Molotov cocktail.
That's what I'm gonna do. And it doesn't need to be a malt. It's not doesn't need to explode on impact. Just like douse and drop like a lighter. I don't know what it is. Just I'm jury rigging something.
Gotcha. Okay. That will take us to Eugene.
Now that the spot has been liberated, I'm gonna try to aim through the hole to shoot one of them with the elephant gun.
Okay.
You want to target them for me?
Got it.
I can make the roll.
Yeah. Let's see if that works.
Yep, just a second. Elephant gun. You have not selected a target, and it tells me.
Okay. So I got to do it on my end. Ooh, good damage. That is enough to destroy that one. The one remaining one is going to continue doing what it's doing. Evelyn.
I can't see them, so I can't shoot them. Does it look like anyone needs a gun reloaded for them?
Not currently, but Gary has basically loaded up some rifles and pistols and stuff.
Okay. I will take one of the pistols over to Alvin,
Okay.
since I know that's his weapon of choice.
Just as an FYI, Alvin is basically scurrying through the alcohol cabinets right now, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. She'll still give you another gun.
Great.
And that will take us to Miles again.
I forget. I think I need to reload again.
Yes.
All right, I will do that.
Okay.
I thought he only fired one round.
He did, but he only had a chance to slam one in.
Yep.
Oh crap!
Yeah, he only loaded one, so.
That will take us to Alvin.
What have I managed to figure out with my random cobbling of things?
Yeah, there's an entire case of scotch here. It is very flammable.
How fast are these dudes?
They don't seem to be any faster. I mean, they're faster than Evelyn, or they're faster than Evelyn used to be, but they're not superhumanly
Doesn't take
fast.
much.
So yeah,
How's the sway?
it's with the one that Eugene killed. The swaying is noticeable but not pronounced.
Can I turn my action into a movement?
Generally, I'm okay with that.
I'm trying to draw him out.
Okay.
I'm yelling at him and yelling at it.
That'll take us to Eugene.
Do I have an angle on the ones that's left?
You will be at a penalty die.
Okay. I'm gonna try my luck.
Okay.
You can target him for me.
Got it. That is a failure. A 98. Not a fumble.
Oh yeah,
Not a fumble though.
it's one away from a fumble, I think.
One away from a fumble.
Yeah, let's not.
All right. Alvin has gone down. So Miles, as you're watching, the one that was basically wearing this pillar, as soon as Alvin kind of touches the ground, before he even starts making any noise, its head kind of whips around, almost like he sensed his Alvin's feet upon the ground. And it starts moving in his direction.
Damn it! I wanted him to be right under that hole for Eugene. So close.
That will take us to Evelyn.
I'm going to grab one of the longer guns.
Okay.
And take it to Miles.
Okay.
I'm on gun running duty at the moment.
Perfect. So Miles, Evelyn brings over. It's a 30-06, almost like a Winchester repeater. You know, like the repeater type rifles. So it holds 6 rounds. That will take us to Miles.
Is it an action to drop my gun and grab the one Evelyn's giving me?
You can do both as one action, but it will be your action. And that's assuming like putting your elephant gun up beside you as opposed to just dropping it down to the ground beneath you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to. I'll make sure to not lose.
Yeah. So yeah, you can stow it beside you, grab the gun from her.
Thank you.
That will take us to Alvin.
Welcome.
Woohoo! Bang!
Blow off a chunk of it, but it is still moving. That will take us to Eugene.
Now that it has moved to go toward Alvin, do I have a better angle?
Yeah, it's almost right underneath the hole.
I'm gonna take advantage of that. We need your help, but I'm gonna shoot him again.
Okay. With a final shot, that one drops. Scatters the things all over the place. Just so you guys know, you guys were 2 rounds away from the structure collapsing.
Jesus.
Yes, I was expecting this to come soon.
But yes, another shot from the elephant gun. That one disperses all over the ground. And now that all of them are defeated, as you watch the various assorted bits and pieces of debris and bone and dirt and rock that made up these creatures is seeming to be absorbed into the ground.
I thought there was one left.
No, you guys dealt with 2 right away, and then the other 2 took some time.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no way Alvin would have gone down if there was 2 of them. But Alvin does that classic, like puts his hands on his knees and puts his leans down like.
But yeah, from the various vantage points, you can see where these creatures fell. They do get absorbed back into the ground. And more importantly, for Alvin, since you're under there, Endicott's corpse is slowly being absorbed into the ground.
Yeah, can I? Not that I loved the guy, but I feel like him being absorbed into the ground is a bad thing. TM trademark.
Yeah, probably.
Can I? Whereabouts is his body? Can you ping that?
Almost right underneath Evelyn.
Can I jog over there and try to hold his slimy hand and try to pull him out if it was quicksand? Is that even gonna work?
You can make a strength roll. But it is very much akin to pulling something out of quicksand. Oh, look at that!
There you go.
A hard success. So he is being absorbed into the ground, but it's not like it's not like hands are coming out of the ground and pulling him down or anything. He's just kind of being absorbed. So you can grab on, and it's slick and it's slimy. I'm going to need a sanity roll.
Yeah, I assumed that was coming.
Okay. But yeah, you kind of brace your feet and you kind of hold. How long are you going to hold it for?
Well,
Are you trying to pull him completely free, up into a fireman's carry or something, or just trying to stop him from being absorbed?
So first of all, I closed my eyes. If that makes that, maybe that's why I kept my sanity. And I'm just gonna pull. I can't pull forever, but I am gonna pull until he's no longer touching the ground, and then put him back down and see if it tries to absorb him again.
It absolutely does. It does not seem. It doesn't seem to be trying to absorb you, but definitely is trying to absorb him.
I'm gonna say I need some help here.
Yeah. Once the fight is over, and Eugene's gonna try to slide down the
slide down the ladder and
ladder. That's the
yeah.
Slide down the ladders to make sure that Alvin is all right. And then I'm gonna, if he asks for help, I'm gonna go to him. And
I'm literally gonna say, I think it's a really bad idea if the ground with the things that come back to life eat him. That's my entire reasoning.
I don't know what they want with him, but I don't think we want to give them one more body.
Yeah,
we're just gonna try to give him a hand to pull it out and lift it up so he doesn't have contact with the ground anymore.
Is there a cot we can throw under him? Is it a blanket thing? I don't know.
There are cots up in the hut and there are blankets up in the hut. Yes. Eugene, you can give me a sanity roll.
Oh yeah. Time for sanity.
Right. So yeah, you kind of grit your teeth. Between the two of you, you can kind of get him up off the ground. And there's no tendrils shooting up from the ground to wrap around him or anything like that. It just seems like when he's in contact with the ground, it tries to absorb him. But once you guys get him up off of it, there's no There's no force pulling him back down or anything.
Can we get a blanket and a cot or something? And don't look down.
Just throw it overboard.
But between you guys can easily, like, if you want to bring him up into the hut, if you want to bring a cot down, whichever way you guys like to do.
I'm going to wait for a blanket. I'm going to wrap him up. If he touches the ground and gets absorbed through the blanket, I'm going to take him up onto the thing unless they throw us down a cot. I don't know if that's big enough.
Once he's wrapped, he seems to be, the ground doesn't seem to be able to absorb him.
Fantastic.
But yes, it's all peaceful and quiet now.
Well, quiet except for Evelyn calling out, "Where's Alvin?" Because she can't see them.
Yeah, don't worry, it's fine. Just don't come down for a bit. We're taking care of Endicott's body, and then we wrap him up. And then Alvin comes back up, bloody. He's like, I need to, and he just walks over to the whiskey, and it looks like he's gonna drink it, and he just douses his arms in it, like he's trying to get it all off. It's the only liquid that's available.
Are there any towels or tablecloths or anything like that up here?
Yes, it's a finely outfitted hunting lodge.
Okay. Yeah, she's going to give him some, like, tea towels so he can wipe off whatever he's trying to get clean of.
This is one of those things where more his soul is stained, but whatever.
I can't do that. I can't wipe that clean.
Yeah, whiskey always works. Sometime internally, sometime externally.
I make sure
Sometime you need to set it on fire to get the stain away.
I make sure there's at least one bottle left, and I pour like glasses for everyone when I'm done with my hands shaking as my adrenaline is coming down. I'm like, I don't want to talk about what just happened, but I think we need to.
That's going to be a terrible conversation to have with Bob.
Does Bob know?
I don't know if he
Bob
knows,
like
but
him?
we'll have to ask him. He must have known something.
Sorry,
But,
player's drawing a blank. Who is Bob?
the
Major Domo?
manservant of Endicott.
Oh!
That is for sure he's not called Bob for real. Just that Endicott could not pronounce his name, so he called him Bob.
Shocking.
Yep.
You don't suppose he had anything to do with it, do you?
I don't think so. But he might have seen Endicott being strange around and doing terrible things.
He's been here while there were all the deaths, and everyone's been going missing.
That's why I think we need to speak with him. But Endicott seems to have made a pact with one of the members of the expedition.
What the hell happened?
One of the members of the expedition promised he could bring back his family with a spell. But I feel like he had a part to play and he needed to feed the spell with some sacrifice. And his mind broke. But I might be wrong, but that's how it feels to me.
I would agree. I don't know if Endicott knew that would be required.
I don't think he did. I think he was fooled into this.
I hope he didn't. But his manservant might know.
Yeah. There might be some
how
clues in his
dark is it?
house.
Sorry, what was that?
So what time is it? How dark is it?
It's getting on to about 6 o'clock. I mean, but it is July, so it's not dark yet. I mean, the sun's a little low, but it's not dark.
How far are we from the house?
2 or 3 kilometers, maybe.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like a marvelous idea.
We have to bring the body, though.
Why?
You can just leave it out here? For the hyenas? There are hyenas in that.
I mean, the ground was trying to reclaim him, and I think if we give the body to the ground, whatever spell was there might use his body to do something.
You mean like he might get back up?
That's why I think maybe like bring him in and giving like some funeral pyre thing might be an idea.
Okay, that's reasonable.
And
Bury him in a
also, if we come
steel
back to the
case.
house and he never comes back, pretty sure Bob's gonna think we brought him to the wood to kill him.
As opposed to us bringing his body back, us bloodied, and saying, hey, we totally didn't kill him?
As opposed to Endicott taking us out there to kill us?
That's why we need to interrogate him. If he saw Endicott bring a couple of people in the wood and never come back, and never ask questions, maybe he saw more.
Okay, fair. You're having that conversation with him, though. I'm just going to stand there with my hand on the butt of my pistol.
I'm not gonna look forward to the conversation, but I'm gonna have it.
So yes, you guys can easily make your way back to the main lodge. Like I said, it's only like 1.5 kilometers, maybe 2 kilometers.
We'll bring him in, find somewhere where he's not on the ground to place him down. And I'm gonna try to find Bob.
Oh yeah, he's still here. He doesn't say anything. He's just going about kind of cleaning up.
Sorry to disturb you, but I'm pretty sure your name's not Bob. Don't feel right call you that way.
My name is Joe.
Oh. Hello, Joe. You happen to see Endicott bring lots of people to that lodge?
It was his business. People would come to hunt.
Did a lot of the people he brought over there didn't come back?
Some.
How often would that happen?
Often enough. Many people died. To curse upon the land.
Did you hear or see anything about Endicott talking about creature made of dirt?
The colonel was not always in the best of mind. But what one colonist does to another colonist is none of my concern.
Whatever deal he made with whoever brought that devil there, got back and bit him.
Okay. He does not seem terribly moved.
Yeah. I didn't expect him to be. Well, just was wondering if you saw him do anything weird.
Frequently.
Like what?
Many times he would say that he only needed a few more, that things were almost complete, that his wife and his son would be back.
Did you ever saw his son and his wife?
I know better than to go messing on cursed lands in the dark.
The lands over there is cursed.
Yes.
It was never cursed by a shaman from a village, I assume.
No.
It's the other white man he brought here. Well, I assume.
Perhaps. With his death, there's no need to bring more people out here. The jungle can reclaim the land.
Do you think the curse is gonna go away?
No, but there are many things in the jungle that kill you, and smart people know to avoid cursed lands.
Yeah. Not much I can do about this place.
It's the people that don't listen to the land that tend to suffer. And I can't say it's a great loss.
Yeah. From what I saw, I will have to tend to agree.
Chris, is this guy not at all phased by the loss of his potential income, even remote? Like the fact that this guy's dead, fine. He's a white dude, but like he's not going to get paid anymore, or like there's no. He's completely non-pulsed by it.
Completely.
Can't say I blame him, really.
And actually, Alvin, I mean, there's a fair bit of stuff in this house that is worth money. He's probably not overly concerned about being paid. He's more concerned about you guys leaving so he can take what he wants.
Thank you for the free psychology check. That's what I was.
Oh yeah, I assume it was like, well, he doesn't have a next of kin, so this place is him for to take over and pillage.
Yes, as a former police officer and private investigator, Alvin, you can pick up on that easily.
Thank you.
Well, might as well ask you about that. You heard about the cult of the bloody tongue?
When you say that, he actually does take like a step back. It's like, do not say those names.
Sorry. Does their influence reach up to here?
Their influence reaches everywhere. They are Kenya.
Yeah. Started to fear that. Endicott said he knew people that could make their way to the Mountain of the Black Wind. Was he just full of shit?
Smart people do not go to cursed lands.
Yeah. I'm starting to get that.
White people go to the cursed lands all the time.
Yeah, and shit happened to them. So I assume if Endicott knew a guide foolish enough to do that, it would be a white man.
I would assume. I mean, there are those who could lead you in the vicinity, but they will not go to the mountain. I could get you close to the mountain, but I won't go to the mountain.
At this point, I'm not sure I want to go to the mountain, but I kind of need to get close.
There are villages nearby that, perhaps living in the shadow of the mountain, have some sort of protection. But I don't think they would talk to either of you.
Yeah. We would need an intermediate.
I wish you luck. If you're going to the mountain, I doubt we will ever see each other again.
Still haven't found an answer to the problem over there. It's no use to go somewhere if you don't have anything to do there. Well, finish our investigation here. And we'll probably leave in the morning.
Of course.
Let's avoid that cursed land.
And yeah, I mean, there's still rooms here for you guys and stuff. If you wanna spend the night, you certainly can.
Yeah, that's my plan. I'm still gonna make a round around the house and check in Endicott's things. Just to see if I find any traces of something strange pertaining to that rituals or anything about the Mountain of the Black Wind or the Bloody Tongue.
Sure.
Does Joe still attend to us?
No.
He does not give two shits about people like us. At all.
Joe's opinion is like colonists killing other colonists.
Yay. Good for them.
No, but I mean, like, Endicott was paying him, and he was taking care of our stuff. Now
Yep.
Endicott's dead. He's like, I don't care about you anymore. Like, I'm not attending to you.
Yeah.
Or will he still make like dinner and stuff?
No.
Okay, just double checking. So
His employer is deceased. He is no
Perfect.
longer employed. Fuck us.
That's great, but he's still hanging around because he wants to plunder this place. I'm 100% with Eugene's idea of searching.
Yes.
And
I'm
like Joe is taking things as you guys are searching. Like he literally is like, oh, the silverware. Don't
care about the silverware.
I let him fully do this thing.
I'm looking for the armory.
There are a wide variety of guns here.
That's wise. That's wise. Time to arm up.
I am looking for a gun with a first name of Tommy.
Make a luck roll.
By 3.
All right. So Endicott is a bit of a collector. It's like an older, Tommy gun. It doesn't see much use. It's mainly like a display piece. But aside from that, there are like typical weapons you would expect to use for hunting. But as kind of like a showpiece, there is in fact a Tommy gun.
I don't know if it's appropriate in the 1920s to make the yoinking sound, but yoink.
The important question is there ammunition for it?
Yes, there is.
I mean, if I remember correctly, Tommy guns don't carry specific ammo. I thought they were regular 38s.
Tommy gun, I think, is a 45.
Oh, shit!
Yeah, Tommy guns are a pretty big weapon. So yeah, it's like, but it is conventional ammo. It's not like a specialty round or anything.
I'm just thinking a gun 45 is this huge, like, imagine shooting it. Anyways. Yeah. Considering what we just faced and what is waiting for us on the mountain, yeah, no. Any superior firepower that we can find is more than welcome.
The Thompson. Thompson falls under a firearms submachine gun.
Yep, it is a 45 caliber submachine.
Yep. Playing Fallout has taught me that.
Oh, that is a skill I do not have. Submachine guns. Well, no time like the present to learn.
That's right. Right. But as you guys are searching around, you can give me let's call it spot hidden.
When Alvin mentioned weapons, I'll probably equip myself too, but I'm gonna look like larger for any clues. So that's a spot hidden.
That is spot hidden.
I might need Alvin's help, but I'll try by myself. Can I roll spot hidden? I do not have a spot hidden in my summarize, and it's out of my reach. If you could push it for me.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, you guys like do the once over on this place, and there's nothing related to, like, there's a few things here that are like, you know, like minor good luck charms, like things that Evelyn can easily identify as, you know, various like good luck charms from like tribal superstition. None of them seem like the sort of thing that he carried, but more things that he had on display. But nothing relating to like cult activities or anything of that nature. All just like relatively mundane stuff.
So we'll find like the equivalent of a novelty voodoo doll or something.
Exactly.
Rabbit's foot. Lucky for everything except the rabbit.
If you have the rabbit's foot, you gotta ask the question, how lucky was that rabbit?
Exactly.
That's why the luck is here, because it gave it up so you can have it.
The luckiest rabbit foot is still on the rabbit somewhere.
I guess we spend the night.
Yep. No traces of ritual premeditation, so he probably got his ritual secondhand.
Just be one sec here.
So to confirm, after coming to Endicott's, we still have no better clue on, or excuse me, we know where the mountain is, but we are hoping to get resources to get to the mountain. Now, the only person, excuse me, who said they know where the mountain is Joe, and he could take us there, but he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
The general consensus is everybody you've talked to is like, don't go there. But there's more than enough supplies and stuff here, like, you know, dried foods, tents, all of the standard hunting equipment, so that you guys can be fully outfitted for going. But other than that, the only thing you've got is Bundari's map.
Annie have a car.
He does have a car.
I mean, that could help.
It's not going to get you through the jungle, but
Yeah. The thing is, if we go to the mountain right now, I don't know what we're going to do there. We're still looking for that answer.
But night passes. Um, Daylight comes. In the morning, Joe is gone. And you guys are left to your own.
Did he take the car?
No.
I'll make breakfast.
Well, at least he didn't take the car, though.
We can
I mean,
reconcile in the.
You can make breakfast, but I'm pretty sure he took all the silverware.
Yeah. Well, we can heat in the Tupperware.
Toast. Lots of toast.
Yeah.
Finger foods only.
I mean, we have a place to crash to decide what we do next. I don't know if there's anybody to warn about it that in Kenya, but
What I'm most afraid of isn't that we die going to that mountain and fighting our way up, is that no one is left to continue.
yeah. There's nobody to call. There's no one to notify that we know of.
No, I mean, if we go to the mountain, try to
Oh.
do what we need to do, and we die, that's the last chance for Earth.
Yeah, right now, like just going to the mountain is not an option. We won't get to the point where we can do the ritual. We don't have enough people to do the ritual. We don't know what the cultists are doing. We need to stop them if we want to have a hope of getting enough people to do the ritual. Right now, if we go to the mountain, it's just like a Hail Mary. I was hoping that if we helped Endicott, he would have information. His guide would have information. We could, find people who are willing to confront the cult. But that was all bullshit. So I don't know. I don't know what next.
We still
We
need to
can't-
find people to help us.
Yep, and we can't just charge like a cult of thousands of people. We need to find a way to stop that, and that does not imply us charging. And that was my last path to explore.
The
Was
last
Endicott.
time we did something like this, we had a military general help us.
Mhm.
I don't have plans. I don't know. And I look around the table, and I don't know if any of us know. I was hoping that Endicott, as a military mind, could give us some advice.
It would have been nice.
I would have hoped that if he knew someone who was actually willing to challenge the bloody tongue, that person would, like, if he was willing to do so, he was either insane or knew that people who would stand up to them. I was hoping for the second one.
No, he just told us what we wanted to hear to go to the cabin.
Yeah.
And by the way, Miles, I'm sorry for that you lost your friend.
Thank you. And I take a long drink and I'm kind of reflecting right now.
Is there do we even know if there's a lot of retired military around? Like,
We We don't know anyone here.
I mean, you and I don't know anyone here. I look to Miles.
Chris, is there a community of like, ex-British soldiers or whatever, whether it's from, I don't know, besides the Boer War, what happened in Africa in the 20s and early 20th century and all, but
There's certainly people around. There's a sizable military presence in Mombasa, and to a lesser extent in Nairobi. But yeah, there's not a lot of retired military here, but active military definitely.
well, if you're looking for the retiree who might still have a bit of fight in them, we're sort of out of luck. The capital has many enlisted officers, but good luck convincing them of this grand mission of ours.
And actually, folks can give me a history roll. Oh, we got Miles coming
Is
through.
history a sub skill?
Nope.
No, it
Okay,
shows
I
up
just
under
don't
its
see
own.
it.
Yeah, in between first aid and intimidate. Evelyn and Miles. There is in Nairobi, where you guys are currently just outside of. There is the King's African Rifles, under the captaincy of a Captain Montgomery. They are basically the British military in Nairobi.
Sorry, what are they called again?
They're called the King's African Rifles, and they are headquartered at Fort Smith.
Sorry, I'm quieter than usual. I'm trying not to cough.
So there is British military in Nairobi. You have the name, but you don't have any inroads with them.
We are stuck. We don't have a plan, and going up there on our own is not an option. We need something else. We need to change either what we know or what we have, or who we know, or so sitting around isn't going to help us. We need to interact with the largest city around and try to forcibly get more information from it.
Honestly, we need something to get us unstuck, so it's something as good as any. We need to ask around, move a bit, see what we can find.
I mean, the worst idea that we can have is basically make sure that we get tailed and capture whoever's tailing us.
Last time we tried to interrogate one of the members of Bloody Tongue, he said see us on the Black Mountain, and he stabbed himself in the yard. So integrating those guys is a bit iffy.
Yeah, it seems like a terrible idea.
What isn't a terrible idea is heading back to town, though.
Heading back to where?
Town.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys can head back to Nairobi. It's not that far, a couple hours.
Can try to ask more questions, look more around. We need to avoid saying the forbidden words, but and we're definitely gonna be watched over.
Do we want to drop our tail?
I mean, can try. Just seem to catch back on us quite easily.
We're
And-
four white people.
Yeah, yeah. You guys stand out to some extent. I mean, Nairobi is very segregated. But give me spot hidden rolls as you make your way to the city and basically start to get things situated.
Oh wow, I failed.
It's a spot hidden roll.
Yep.
Was lucky once, might be again.
It's okay. Miles can see through time, apparently.
As he does.
I've seen how this happens 17 million times.
All right. So as you get back to Nairobi, it doesn't take long at all for you guys to notice that you're being watched. They're it's not even like they're being subtle. You are definitely being watched. But Miles, what you pick up is as you move from like section to section, like I said, Nairobi is very segregated, and as you kind of like come from the outskirts into the town, um, the following detail changes. Um, it's a mixture of Africans and Europeans that are keeping a watch on you. It's not just like it's not just local people. As you pass into like the kind of like the no blocks allowed district of Nairobi, the folks tailing you become subtler, but they also are definitely European and following you, so they don't stand out, but they're still keeping eyes on you.
Oh, that's an interesting development. And as we continue on, I will casually, subtly nod or move my head towards some of the Europeans that are keeping an eye on us. Do any of them look familiar to me as a local?
No. But since you did get the extreme success, you do notice that the folks that are watching you, the ones that you catch here and there, you can tell that most of them, and possibly all of them, are armed. You can occasionally catch like the glint of metal underneath the jacket or whatever. No firearms, but they are definitely armed, probably with those knives that you've seen associated with the cult of the Bloody Tongue. And again, that is consistent between the locals and the Europeans.
This all sounds very bad.
Frankly, unless we can figure out a way to get in with the African rifles, I think we're on our own if we're going to do this.
I wonder.
Hmm.
This world is far from perfect. God knows, because we're fighting for it and all the terrible things that are happening. But we have previously found people who know information about the cult. I know I don't speak the language, but it would be, there's got to be someone who's fallen out of that cult. Maybe they haven't been found or killed yet, or maybe there's got to be some way to get information about what's happening on the mountain.
What if we approach local hunting guides and just say that that's where we'd like to go hunting? Do they have any opinions on it? And see what happens.
Can't try it.
Well, Joe said that we probably would be able to find someone to get us close and try to get us to the village near the mountain. Someone is probably willing to do that, just not to the mountain. Maybe we could try to find one such guide and try to go ask question in those village. But that would bring us very close to dangerous territory without a plan.
Mm-hmm. That is a bit of a problem. But that's why I thought if we approached hunters, guides, that they might have opinions. And we'd be able to use their opinions to determine how much we can trust them with.
Yeah, that's where to try.
I'm hoping that someone else has a better idea, but
Oh, I get that.
everyone's looking sort of dourly into their coffee, so I'm
Right
losing
now,
hope
I'm
here.
I'm kind of out of clues.
We could always send a message home and see if the lawyer or Luther knows anyone here.
Yeah, that's an option. Could work.
If we can find a telegram office, whichever they have here.
All right, so what are you guys doing?
Trying to find people. Trying to find locals who can help.
Well, good news
Evelyn's
is
thought.
there are lots of people in Nairobi, and they're all local.
Yes. Unfortunately, we know none of them. So Evelyn's thought is to wire a message home to the lawyer and to Luther to see if they know anyone here, and to approach local hunting guides or wildlife guides and say that that's the mountain where we'd like to go, and then see how they react to determine how or if we should trust them.
All right. Whoever has the lowest luck can give me a luck roll.
60.
48.
60 luck.
Today.
I have 20. I have 27.
I have 22.
Ouch. Usually when I fail a roll, I do it so spectacularly that luck will not help.
Yeah, I get that.
All right. I think Miles has the lowest luck, so I will need a luck roll. Oh, look at that.
Wow, he rolled a 4 and now a 2.
Oh, that bodes poorly for tomorrow night.
Shut your mouth. Rise it a little further.
It's me knocking on wood.
I'm going to die to squirrels or beer bandits tomorrow. Thanks, Anita.
You're welcome.
Just need to dance it off.
Hopefully.
Yes, Miles is not really the dancing type, so.
That's why you suffer so.
So you guys spend like basically an entire day asking around, sending off a message to Luther and to Ramsey. And I'll assume at that point also filling them in on what's been happening, just so that way if anybody needs a replacement character, information is out there.
Yes.
And there's there are all kinds of guides, tons of guides. As soon as you mention where you're going, they stop talking to you. Finally, though, you run into a guy named Sam. Give me 1 sec here. Sam Mariga. He's got this kind of like very humble shack, but very nice floral displays. And he seems willing to listen to you. And he's the only one that even gives you the time of day once you mention what you're looking for. So he agrees to meet with you at his home, this like little shack in Swahili town. Gorgeous flower displays out front. Lovely, well-tended garden. He's kind of like probably in his early 50s. Jovial-ish. But willing to listen to you.
That's the best we found so far.
And so yeah. He's like, so I hear you are looking to die in the jungles.
Well, we'd hope to avoid that. But it seems that destination befell some ill intent. Can you tell us anything about that place?
The Mountain of the Black Wind, Mount Satima. It is a place of great evil. I'm sure you've been told.
Yes. I'm wondering if anyone is willing to do something against that evil.
You're not from here.
No.
You don't understand. You are in the very heart of the cult of the Black Tongue.
Yeah.
You will not find anyone in Kenya who will take you there. Luckily for you, though, I've been there. I've survived. I'll go again. But if you're looking to raise an army to storm a mountain, you're in the Wrong country.
Well, I figured that we would never find such a force.
The cult is everywhere. If they don't have positions of power, they have the loved ones of those in power. They act with impunity. The only reason you're still alive is because the cult doesn't want you dead yet for some reason.
Chris, is he talking from firsthand knowledge?
You can make a psychology roll.
I think he's a Yeti.
Maybe Evelyn can keep an eye on him.
Maybe.
If you think he's a Yeti, maybe we need Evelyn.
Let's see.
Or what was his last name?
I don't think
Ariga?
he's a Yeti.
His last name is Mariga. Mariga.
Oh, I thought that was all one name. Okay.
No. His first name is Sam. His last name is Mariga.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mr. Mariga, can I ask you a question?
Certainly.
Now, I've lived in this country for about 30 some odd years, so. But admittedly, until recently, I was not aware of the cult of the cult. What I was going to ask is, do you know if the cult has insinuated itself into the King's African Rifles?
Perhaps not. I can't say for any degree of certainty. It would be in their interest to have some sway over the army, but I don't know for certain.
The reason I ask is we don't really have an in with the rifles. However, if we were to try to find a way, I was curious if you knew if they were infested as well to make it an absolutely pointless endeavor to try.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know their. We run in different circles. But the cult holds power here. If the army deigns to help, it will not be subtle. I'm sure you can imagine a large group of military colonists traipsing through the jungle. If you wish to go to the mountain, though, I can take you. My cousin's village is not far from the mountain.
Chris, Evelyn
Chris-
rolled a 24 on her psychology.
Yep. He is being truthful. He, at the very least, he firmly believes that the cult holds all the power here.
Okay. But he doesn't seem to be in it.
No.
Okay.
There's like a kind of like an undercurrent of defiance. But it's very well hidden. If it wasn't for the hard success, you probably wouldn't have picked it up.
Well, we would certainly appreciate your help.
Do you know if there's a eye mountain close to the mountain of the Black Wind?
There are several, but none as high as Mount Satima. How
All the
close?
surrounding mountain are... Okay.
It is the highest mountain in the range.
Yeah. Do not wish to die over there, but we need to know what's happening. I'll try to look at topographical map of the surrounding mountain. Maybe one of them is high enough for us to do something from there.
There's only 2 mountains in all of Kenya that are taller than Mount Satima.
And they are very far from it.
They are very far from it. Like one of them is Mount Kenya, and the other one, I can't remember what the other one is right off the top of my head. But there are no other mountains in that range.
And what I was about to ask you is, the ritual absolutely needs to be done on the highest point for it to cover things. If I remember, it's like a dome.
Yeah, it's like a dome, and it only covers like 10 miles.
Yeah, so even if the other mountain is in the 10-mile radius, if it's not high enough, it won't work. This is what I guess. Well, at least we found someone. You've been there and you survived. Do you know what they're doing over there?
I do not go near the cult if I can help it. I've been to the mountain. That does not mean that I've seen what they do. Those are two different things. I am brave. I am not foolish.
Yeah, that's wise.
So I can lead you there if you wish. If you wish to talk to the army and hope they are not compromised, if you can convince them there's a threat, it will be significantly louder than if I lead you.
Well, we'll decide and we'll come back to you.
We'll need more than just one person to help us.
Kirshner, what time of year is it?
It is July. Specifically, it is the middle of July, the 17th.
Oh, yay, it's my birthday.
Yay. It's like Anita's free birthday.
Ce choix-là maintenant. C'est juste ça. Faire la place.
Yeah. When she mentions we're going to need more than just his help, does he react to that at all?
And he kind of says, good luck finding it. It's essentially the equivalent of being in Moscow and saying, like, we're looking for some people to help us take down the Kremlin.
Yeah.
Have we asked him who the cult doesn't like or who doesn't like the cult? Maybe that's a lead. I remember back in New York, there was like a standing group that was trying to, even though they didn't know they were fighting against the cult, they were trying to protect themselves. Is there anything like that?
Perhaps individuals here and there. You underestimate how superstitious the people of Kenya are and how much power the cult holds. Those who stand against the cult have had family members disappeared. They've had curses laid upon them. They've had their homes destroyed. They've had their children killed.
How does one join the cult?
I've never asked.
Why?
Because I'm not a fool.
No, not you, Elvin. Why?
Well, we might know where their center of power is, if a place where they, I don't know, come to worship, and if we can find a way into there, maybe it'll give us more information as to what's happening on the mountain. You make it sound like we didn't break into the factory where that cult was back in Shanghai, or we didn't break into the headquarters of the guy who was the head of the cult back in London. Or that we didn't break into the
Well,
House of
no.
Horrors back in New York, right? Like, and we found
We didn't-
information in all those places.
Right, but at no time did we ask anyone, hey, how do we join up?
Right, but if there's a place we can join up, it might be the place where they have information. And since we're talking to someone who doesn't like them and who is a local, maybe they would know.
Maybe.
I have not gone poking at the cult. The cult knows you're here. They are obviously following you. Perhaps one of them can recruit you.
When you put it that way, it sounds like a crazy plan.
Perhaps your friend here is right. Perhaps the British can help you. But if you're looking for an army from the locals, you might pull together some people given enough time.
And enough secrecy, since we're being followed everywhere.
And the cult will eliminate those it considers a threat. So, if you wish for a guide to the mountain, I can be found here.
Well, I think we need to check with the military next.
That's Miles's thing, isn't it?
Well, ideally. I certainly don't have any ties to them.
I don't know why you would think that. Just because I live here and I'm a hunter doesn't make me a military man.
No, but military men do have a tendency to become hunters.
Yeah, I look at the gathering group of the four of us, Miles, and you can see why. I think you might be the closest one that can speak their same language. I mean, unless you want to go through that, Eugene. Let's go and figure out what happens when we get there.
All right. So yes, you guys can make your way to the fort. It's easy enough to find. Fort Smith, the Nairobi headquarters of the King's African Rifles. You guys arrive at the entrance. The soldier on guard kind of just looks at you. Like,
Chris, I pull everyone back before we get in and say, where's the nearest bar close to this place?
There is a nearby pub called the Loyal Defender. It's like the watering hole for the enlisted men.
Do you think we should walk up straight to the commander and say, hey, we need your army? Or is there like...
Oh, there's surely a better way to phrase it than that. There has to be. Doesn't there? They're not going to react well to that, I wouldn't think. None of us are British. Except possibly Miles.
I'm quite British, thank you very much.
Mm. Well, it's not the first time someone's accent has tricked us into thinking they're from somewhere they're not.
Ah, well, we could always go for a pint or two and listen to the chatter and see if we can pick up on any clues that would suggest someone to speak to.
I'm following the English guy.
Mm-hmm. If I'm allowed in.
Yeah, you are. You're the proper skin tone, so.
Yeah.
But yes, the Loyal Defender pub. It is it's almost the epitome of a British pub here in the heat of Africa. And just like an immediate look, you can tell like these folks are all like it caters to the enlisted men of the King's African Rifles. And there's a kind of like a joviality amongst them as they kind of like sit around their tables and their little cliques, drinking stuff like that. But when you guys enter, they all kind of look because you are very obviously not military.
Not even slightly.
The bartender will come over, kind of leave the bar. It's like, it's not for civilians.
Evelyn looks at Miles.
Well, I certainly never enlisted. I was not, unfortunately, of hardy enough stock. My good man, we are looking for someone that we could speak to regarding a sensitive matter.
Oh, it's something that needs to be brought to the attention of the rifles properly. Then you should talk to Captain Montgomery at the fort. Folks here come to get away from sensitive matters.
Understood. We thought we'd come in here for a pint after a long trip and a very eventful last few days. I apologize for our intrusion.
Oh, you'll find plenty of other good watering holes that'll cater. This is a members-only club, as it were.
Thank you for that bit of information, sir.
And then he'll
And Chris, I'll actually give him like a small tip.
okay. He pockets it. He doesn't escort you out. He just makes his way back to the bar, but the indication is that you should see yourselves to the door.
We should leave.
Could we possibly arrange to speak with someone later elsewhere?
Well, judging by what the bartender just said, I think we should try to make arrangements to speak to this Captain Montgomery, perhaps going to one of the guards on duty at the fort or something.
All right.
All right. So yeah. The when you arrive back at the gates, or I guess you never went to the gates in the first place. We retconned a little. When you make your way to the gates, the guards do just kind of like stand at attention and basically wait for you to state the reason why you're there.
I'm going to defer to the only person with an English passport.
Yes, good afternoon, my good man. We were referred here by the bartender at one of the fine watering holes you have here, that we should try to arrange a meeting with a Captain Montgomery regarding a potential sensitive matter of if not national security, security for the king and empire.
I see. He kind of looks at you, kind of looks at the way you guys are dressed. He seems to be considering things for a second. And he looks over at his at the other guard. Says like, escort these fine citizens into the fort. We'll see if what they have to say is worth Captain Montgomery's time. Everybody give me a psychology roll.
Crap, they have brain slugs like Futurama.
Good old brainworms.
Sorry about that.
Okay. So Alvin and Evelyn, the guard, like as Miles is explaining and saying, matter of great security, they're definitely scrutinizing you. And both of you, there's like you don't necessarily know if it's like a glint of recognition, but as Miles is explaining kind of we need to see the captain, national security, the guards are kind of looking at you. You can see the moment where the guard decides to let you in to see Captain Montgomery. And it's specifically after, like, they're not really listening to Miles, but they're more looking at the group of you.
Okay.
So they recognize the group of us as terrorists.
That's concerning.
As we're being escorted, I tell the group that I think we've been recognized.
So do I. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, though.
And you guys are escorted into the fort. It's all, I mean, wood paneling, secretary outside. The door is open,
Chris, we're inside a military fort. My assumption is we were relieved of our weapons during this process.
Yes. I completely blanked on the fact that you guys are carrying weapons. But you guys are escorted in. You wait for a few moments, and not very long at all, until the secretary comes and says, like, Captain Montgomery will see you. And you are ushered into a fairly sparsely decorated office.
I thought you were going to say cell. Okay, great.
I mean,
Some might call it
6
an
of one,
office.
half
Some
of
might
the
call it a
other.
cell.
And just so you guys kind of get a sense of things, Fort Smith is the home to the King's Africa Rifles, which at the current point in time is about 3,000 men.
Oof.
There is a parade ground. There's a firing range that's got its own hospital. It's like a small military base in Nairobi.
3,000 men is not a small military base.
It is.
In the 20s? Okay.
It's basically 3,000 men. It's probably about three regiments. So, and this is after like the fort just got bumped up fairly recently. It used to be 2 regiments. And the previous captain before Montgomery actually won the Victoria's Cross in the war. So the King's African Rifles are they are a known military unit. They are like as official can be.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a small base. This sounds like a real base.
It is a real base, but it's small. But Captain Montgomery's at his desk. He does stand when Evelyn enters, kind of like smooths out his uniform, kind of like brushes his mustache, kind of sucks in his gut a little bit, all the while looking at her.
It's because I'm not limping anymore.
It's like,
Because you don't have an appearance of 40 and a freaking, what is it? Credit rating of 12.
No, I have an appearance of 55 and a credit rating of 35. So, terrible.
I understand that you have information of importance.
Evelyn will nod at the captain and look at Miles.
And he'll kind of motion, and the secretary closes the door. It's like, I'm assured you are amongst friends here. I have received missives from overseas, from Shanghai and from Cairo, that I should be on the watch for individuals such as yourselves, and that I should listen to what you have to say.
Sorry, psychology, like right now. Like, is that like
That's
I should
surprising.
hear you and shoot you on the spot, or like?
Yeah, I think I would like in on that role, thank you.
Absolutely.
that either feels really good or really fucking ominous.
For the love of Christ, Mark, that's a 4, a 2, and an 8 this game.
Oof. I will spend the 3 luck.
Yes, there's something about the way that he says that is that kind of puts you at ease. The it's not he's not exactly welcoming, but Miles and Evelyn, you can pick up that kind of like the slight smile, but in a warm fashion. Not like a oh, they've fallen into my clutches, I'm going to kill them smile, but more of a more welcoming.
Okay, that's good.
At those words, Alvin visibly exhales and stops looking for exits.
Relaxes just a bit.
I believe we have some mutual acquaintances. You're familiar with a gentleman named Usagi Taro?
Yes. Yes, we are.
Imperial Navy captain, was it?
Yes. And a Dr. Ali Kafour?
Yes.
I assume the fact that I've dropped those names indicates that you are amongst friends here.
And we are very relieved to hear that.
This feels like a nice paradise island. I look out to the, giant army surrounding this troop and parade grounds. A nice little island of sanity amidst a sea of evil.
So, how may we be of assistance? And as he asks that, I think we'll call it there. That seems like a good thing, with Alvin kind of looking out and everybody kind of feeling the sense of calm, surrounded by an entire military, and with perhaps some friends here in Kenya. That seems like a good place to end it.
Taking a deep breath.
Everybody
Yep.
takes a deep breath.
Before the sniper round fires. Yeah.
The giant French machine gun.
Hmm?
The giant machine gun that our artillery set up for us.
Yeah.
Alvin's not the only one with the Tommy gun.
It's the 1920s. Cannons are a thing.
Oh, yeah, that's true. They are still a thing.
All right, perfect. So I will click on development mode. People can roll for their luck.
No,
Woohoo!
not for me. Ooh, 8. Nice, Alvin. 9, Eugene. Holy shit. Wrong button,
Got some?
Miles.
I got some.
Sorry, I clicked the wrong button again.
Yes, Eugene, you got 9.
I don't see the roll, but I'm very glad I got some luck back.
Sorry, Chris, I pressed the wrong button. You're gonna have to fix it.
No worries, I can do that. Oh, all right. And let me click off development. Everybody gains 6 points of sanity.
From being safe for a change?
Both for defeating the revenants, and not letting Endicott's body get consumed by the curse, and for finding the safe haven here.
Seriously? Not getting the body consumed by the curse was a thing?
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Apparently.
I thought I was being paranoid.
This is our morality coming into play.
If you're paranoid, we'll be paranoid together.
I'd high five you, but I don't know if you're going to extend your hand. That's the paranoia.
And actually, what I'll do, since you guys are at this safe spot here, we'll also do a development phase, so everybody can hit the development phase and see if any of your skills go up.
Well, I just did.
Yeah.
Chris just doesn't want to backtrack everything.
It's also because the game master knows how potentially dangerous upcoming things are.
Lovely. Oh, first aid, history, listen, natural
Holy
world.
shit! My spot hidden
Spot
went up.
hidden.
Alvin's
Oh.
spot hidden went up.
Yeah, that's
I
pretty
love
impressive.
my psychology almost doubled. My occult went up. My history went up a little bit. And my natural world went up. Useful stuff in a fight, not so much.
Well, my English got better.
Perfect.
When
That'll
did you
help
know
when we're in the mountains.
English?
Me know English? That's impossible.
I might as well do the rolls for Gary.
No luck for Gary. Oh,
All went up. And
yeah,
firearms.
those will probably be, and climb. I imagine all three of those are going to be handy in the next game.
Reduced all
If not
sanity
more
limits by 1. What does that mean?
Basically, when you encounter things that drive you crazy, you build up an immunity. Like say you encounter, we'll use a deep one because most people know what a deep one is. So a deep one has a sanity loss of a d6. So that means the most sanity you can lose from encountering deep ones is 6. So it could be 6 all at once, or it could be 6 over like a series of encounters with deep ones during the same investigation. But once you've reached 6, you can no longer lose sanity to deep ones. But over time, that limit decreases. So like you fight some deep ones, you're like, okay, I'm used to deep ones. But then months go by and you're like, okay. And then you see another deep one, and you're like, oh shit, yeah.
The
So
mind forgets.
so you gradually build up an immunity to the horror, but then it slowly comes away. So that's what that means. All right. So yeah, we will see everybody next week. You guys can decide now that you're amongst friends and friends who apparently have some clout, what you would like to do.
Chris, here's a weird question about my development phase. Not 2 hours ago, I was rolling against horrible, nasty things, and I was shooting them, and I know I hit a few of them, but when I clicked on my development phase, I did not get a roll for my handgun.
It's because everything was within short or point blank range, which gives you a bonus die, and you never get advancement ticks if a bonus die is involved.
Oh,
Because it just wasn't that hard.
perfect. Thank you.